Jail. Prison, whatever. Ark's prison.
Besides, they weren't sorcerers.
If you ask me, the Whites fled the moment the fighting began. The cowards.
Yeah, because their point wasn't to fight everyone. They have a mission. Paladin Daisley. Dieselby. There's a paladin here. Ristrum.
Well, hello again. Welcome to my very, very humble abode.
You heard Kemm accuse her of treason. Ask for her side of the story.
Yes, I heard it too. The man has some curious ideas about what constitutes treason. I refuse to raise a hand against fellow members of the Divine Order. Refuse to buy into Kemm's lie that they're all Black Ring puppets.
Okay, this city seems to be tearing itself apart. What's going on?
It's not just the city. The Divine Order is coming undone at the seams. There's never been much love lost between the Paladins and the Magisters, but this... brawling in the streets... it will be the end of us all.
Why is the Divine Order so divided?
Too many Paladins from noble families, and too many Magisters that started as working folk. Of course, the Paladins were the first recruits of Lucian. So, many saw the Magisters rising through the ranks as a threat to their order. Pig farmers leading lords, they said. But now that some white Magisters have been found colluding with the Black Ring, now that Kemm has his excuse, it's war.
She doesn't seem to be a fan of Kemm's. Ask what she knows about him.
Kemm's always been a hard man. His steel was forged in the war with the Black Ring. But recently there's something else. He's turned cold. Not cruel, exactly, just harsh. Dispassionate to a fault. They say it's the Void Woken, that he's too worried about Rivellon to worry about people. Maybe that's it. Or maybe years of fighting finally broke him. Your guess is as good as mine. Although, I've heard whispers. There are places in Kemm's mansion that nobody goes but him. One has to wonder what he gets up to. I'll see you again, I hope. The company in here lacks a certain charm.
Yeah, I was sort of planning on going to Kemm's manor anyway. We have the keys to it now. We seem to have been done with anything related to Kemm. I mean, I can't talk with the guy.
Piss off, Paladin scum.
Warn him to watch his mouth.
Why? What'll you do? Kill my friends and lock me up? Go and die.
She spits at you. From the darkness of the look in her eye, there'll be no talking to her.
According to this, 564 prisoners are
So we're not making friends here.
Maybe they were shipped to Fort Joy.
not according to this. Besides, they weren't sorcerers.
It is truly empty. Looks to be. Might want to take a closer look at that if we don't find what we want to find through other means.
We don't know.
Find out. Who are you? Did Lord Kemm send you about the missing prisoners?
Prison break. Ask where they could have gone.
That is the ever-elusive mystery. These weren't escape artists. They were thieves and drunkards, imbeciles and liars, heretics and fools. The crudest of the crude, turned from slugs to smoke. Poof.
Grimace, the paladins are either poor wardens or poor record keepers.
Hardly. The jailer's records are clear. 564 men and women were signed in and never signed out again. I'd say this was an oversight in record keeping, but I know some of those names, and they are nowhere to be found.
Blood
Maybe they
elementals.
escaped.
500 escapees? We would have noticed.
At least the prisoners. Magister
This makes no
Omonra,
sense.
Magister Roman 5, Magister Liffen, deceased. Chitwell, Callan. Timor, deceased.
Maybe they were shipped
Paladin
to Fort
shields.
Joy.
Not according to this. Besides, they weren't sorcerers.
What the hell is the Blood Elementals book? Herein Hubert recounts an encounter with a pool of blood that rises from the floor and attacks him. He barely keeps his life. One suspects he loses his lunch.
Where are all the prisoners? Where did they go? The cells
The
are...
damn cells were empty. The Magister's arrested hundreds, but they're not here. They're gone.
Maybe they escaped.
Maybe.
500
The law master will figure it out.
Justinia's Jackals. Pools of Sores. Never a good sign. Spirit of Magister Timor.
The Magister spirit looks up at you from a tortured face. His eyes are filled with pain and terror, and his hands grasp tight to each other, clenching and clenching, harder and harder.
In this dingy hall to end my days. Here, where I once toiled, but oh how I prayed for an end. At the end. And I'm still praying.
Say there's nothing righteous about torture.
For the glory of Lucian, there is no task unworthy. Here we turned out abominations into servants of the Lord. And the more powerful the sorcerer, the better the geist they make. All the better to serve him. For him we pray always.
Disembodied foot. Bloodied arm. There are mind maggots. Ooze. Punks, ooh. Only a weak stone wall. There has to be a way to open that without destroying it. At the same time, maybe not. That's why it's so weak.
This again?
Yes, this again.
It won't budge. It won't budge.
It's not budging. Not sure what they expect me to do with that.
Not according to this. Besides, they weren't responsible.
The only way
We can at least report what's going on
find her
there.
head away from our kids, I reckon.
This way's off limits.
It's supposed to be used the other way around.
Stay back. It's for your own good.
Who or what is behind the door?
Found the undead freak here already chained up by the Magisters. They say she's a witch. I say
Her voice freezes into a harsh whisper.
she's a demon.
Okay, not in understanding. They're holding this witch prisoner then.
Damn right. Lucian spoke of creatures like this Windigo. They spread their black magic to our children with songs and stories. Makes me sick. Our little ones, tools of demons.
Aha. Tell her you've encountered this Windigo. It was not a pleasant event.
You know this trickster?
Say that you have wandered the lands high and low asking after her. You come bearing word of her vital weakness. It's a hero option. So is Windigo here the final source of the power the Windigos have? People with the same name that are outside the prison. Or is she something else? I'll go with the intelligence option. Tell her that Windigo has powerful allies and you must learn what she knows.
Well, go on then. Probably doesn't matter who breaks her, so long as she gets broken. Just keep your head on straight. She'll try to make nice. Creep into your thoughts. Keep her out of there, alright?
Yay! What is this? This looks fairly nice. It's not really a prison type of a room.
That's the demon's way. They give out one of the
More of a storage area than anything else. It's a bloodstained journal though. Always a classic. Why the fuck did you pick that up?
Maybe. I guess the law master will figure it out.
A hat.
That undead witch, they're talking about some kind of covenant. further.
Right, I'm fairly confident we can get a level up out of this place, whatever is contained there.
Maybe. I guess the Lawmaster will figure it out.
How did you... Yes. I miss him. I miss us. No one touched me, so... Stop! Stop! You answer to me, I do not answer to you.
Very resistant to fire. Well, I'll do a little bit of a precaution. I'll change the master spell we have to something else. Bolts of coagulated blood fall on enemy characters in the area, each dealing 400 physical damage, sending disease and decaying.
Why did the Magisters jail?
That sounds nice. Fairly compatible with the rest of the group too. And falls on enemies, so we can probably just blast it wherever. Bloodstained Journal. Again, what's with the Bloodstained Journals in this game? The experiments continue apace. I've suffused prisoners with the mind maggots just as planned. So far, none have come to fruition as full geists. There's a lot of activity happening outside. I can hear fighting, but I don't have the time to investigate. I must craft a full geist before Lucian's Day. The paladins have locked me here, in my own investigation cell. They say I'm under investigation for colluding with the Black Ring. Unbelievable. It's been days. No word, no sign, nothing. I have no idea what's going on the outside world. My experiments have wasted away to nothing. One of the paladins came in last night. He said they know I've been colluding. He said he'll come by to question me tomorrow. I have no idea what's going on. The rest of this journal remains blank.
How did you... Yes. I miss him. I miss us. No one touched
Yes, the same journal. That's suspicious.
You answer to me, I do not answer to you.
You can't carry a pair of gloves.
They are but my own.
Mercy is power. Oh, for fuck's sake, you can't pick up nails? T is for troll.
Paladin, do you miss it? How did you... Yes.
This doesn't seem to be connected to the other
I miss us.
stairwell that we found.
Stop! Stop!
You need 4...
Answer to me.
What are
I
these?
do not
I've seen
answer
them
to you.
before somewhere, but I don't understand what you're supposed to put in them. Are these power generators or something else?
Dearest sunshine,
What's this? Give me room! I feel a breakthrough approaching.
heart and soul.
Ooh, on the frames. Cursed poison glass. I want to learn about these things. What can I give in exchange? Well, the dot's color is gonna be worthless now, isn't it? The character is not even on this map. I'm not sure we have much use for the fabric dye either.
She cradles her head in her hands, then pivots towards the prisoner. Her mouth opens, yet nothing spills forth. No sermon, no screed, no threat. She turns back to you and grimaces.
Too late! The spark's been snuffed. I trust you come bearing gold or godhood for me to have interrupted such a sensitive interrogation.
Stand back and let her continue.
The paladin bows her head. Her face wrenches into 100 different positions in the space of a few seconds until she gasps and opens her eyes.
It's no use. The evil is strong in her. Her words are soaked in it. They squirm into your mind, planting warm memories you've never had, mesmerizing you with sounds and scents that were never there. We found her already caged, you know, cursing the Magisters with hexes vulgar enough to turn even a dwarf's cheeks red.
Windigo cradles you in her arms, stroking your head as the waves crash around you. I'm sorry, Buttercup. I was bewitched by his promise. Forgive me.
Buttercup was one of the optional names we could have given to the possessed girl.
You shake your head and the vision is gone. Your eyes rest not on the prisoner, but on the paladin.
Hold your hand to her head. Ease her worry, show her peace. She can trust you with this prisoner.
The paladin sighs, in, then out. Her jaw relaxes, her hands unclench.
A sorcerer. You penetrate my thoughts as she does, yet you leave behind clarity. Not fantasy. I understand now. You are as dangerous to her as she to us. I will give you the space you need, then. May Lucian be your guide. Things are under control, for now.
This is the same type of item we saw with a lot of ancient, eternal technology. We probably have the means of setting her free. Level-wise, she is not a threat. Stats-wise, she's not a threat at all.
You step up to the cell to look at the skeleton you know to be Windigo. The barrier mutes her source, but it isn't her source you fear, but something more, a shadow. She says nothing, but you still hear her words.
An unexpected pleasure for both of us, I'm sure.
She looks to the nearby device, and an urge engulfs you, an urge to power down the device to release Windigo from her cell.
Confront her. She must not intrude in your mind uninvited.
Her mouth remains closed, yet her voice settles in your mind like a damp fog.
There are others, his chosen, yet I am no longer among them.
Yeah, it is the same, Windigo.
They seek what you seek. The hammer.
I am ready to share what I know. The God King rejoices as long as I am chained. Free me, and we might hobble him.
The voice is gone. Windigo is still.
I don't see why I should. At no point has she been anything but trouble. She has lost faith in the God King and wants her freedom. Paladins are no longer a problem. A rat begged us to help its mistress. She is imprisoned a cell beneath the Magister Barracks. Paladins guard the cell. We know she also gives zero shits about casualties. That's why she's here in the first place. Other people also got to the prison island, like she did, but they didn't start an event in the middle of a city that got people killed. They just more or less claimed to be sorcerers, and that was pretty much it. She was definitely the real deal. I saw a sickle somewhere. I'm curious where it was. Yeah, there's a brief glimpse of a sickle. Lockpicks. Yeah, they're outside the goddamn map. Yeah, I don't think this is as simple. If I let her go, things will start happening. But the Paladins are no longer here, so I'm curious to see what happens.
No more lies, Godwoken. You can be free of me. Dropping the barrier requires a sacrifice. It won't be for naught.
Her lips go
Let us be
See what we'll see what happens.
You reach your hand towards the device, and your inner source is stifled, as if you'd never rid yourself of that cursed collar.
It's a source point, probably. Sacrifice your source to the machine, perhaps you can overload it.
You close your eyes and focus. You feel the source in you pulse, first faintly, then with the strength of a leather-skinned drum.
Actually, I don't want to sacrifice anything with her. Red Prince can sacrifice 1 point.
You reach your hand, you close your eyes and focus. Your source drains into...
Okay, that's what it is. Source points. Sabine can sacrifice 2. Might as well go with 3. She uses them the least.
You reach your hand towards... You close your eyes and focus. The device crackles and pops, then whines pit...
Come to me, sweet.
She steps forward, slowly but confidently. She holds out her hands, bony palms up. They emit no fire, no ice, no curse.
The God King no longer grants me his favor. Mask ripped from me and flesh flayed to bone, because the Godwoken still walks Rivellon. Now he's chosen another. I should hate you for what you've done to me, hate you for the hell I've lived. But I hate him so much more. He loved me when I was useful. He cast me out when you failed to die. Go to the new Chosen. See that he suffers. See that the God King suffers. In your name and in mine.
Wonder how she ended up in this prison.
Linder Kemm. He is the God King's current beloved. No more skin in his real bones than on a peeled jackfruit. And it is not only his ear the God King whispers into. The dwarf called Isbale. She bends to the king's every whim. The God King said if I could find Dallas, eliminate her, I could take my place by his side again. But Kemm, he doesn't like competition. All it took was a few whispers. The Magisters, they've got ways of silencing Source. They knew exactly what to do. The Paladins, well, when they found me, they'd no idea what to make of me.
Note that she's still bound by the Covenant. What comes next for her?
I go to Kemm. Or his estate, rather. He's got a sworn breaker scythe. It'll free me from the Covenant. I'd be mortal, yes, but no longer a slave.
This creature, this monster, would have seen us drowned at sea. Kill her!
If the God King has truly abandoned her, then this is our chance to slay her once and for all.
If she was truly with the God King and turned against him, she could prove a valuable ally. Again, I'm sort of fine with both options, but this isn't exactly an encounter where you win by sticking to your principles always fully. If you lose this, the consequences are so fucking massive. It is very, very, very dangerous to just ignore them. Just because you don't trust her.
If she was truly with the God King and turned against him, she could prove a valuable ally.
What's past is past, as far as I'm concerned. You deserve our trust.
Neither of us are inclined to mercy. Let's make the most of this moment, shall we? Before you go, I have something for you. Something I learned. A touch of void, if you will.
Windigo pauses. She doesn't speak the next words, yet you hear them as clearly as a robin's song.
Goodbye, Godwoken.
Eternal promise. Carapace. Might be a better shield for us. It has leadership and more balanced attributes between physical and magical armor. Two-handed axe, level 18. Shield, atrophy, plus 10% critical chance. One-handed axe, don't care. Finesse armor, it's okay, I guess. Intelligence pantaloons, which is fine. I think I'll take the two-handed axe. Might not be better than what we currently have, but it does have extra water damage. I think the current weapon has extra earth damage, and it has atrophy. It might not be better, but it doesn't have a rune slot. It can never be better. You gotta have the rune slot these days. I suppose I'll take the pants, magic pants, pantaloons of power. Yeah, add the source orb to it. That seems to be the rule of thumb with all the powerful abilities. Gotta have a source orb. We have plenty of extra ones, but I don't want to use one to just to create a little bit of blessed something. Yeah, there should be another book. Yeah, Low save. We have better purpose. Yeah, massively more magic armor. Doesn't have a rune slot. Yeah, but it also gives magic and physical armor. I think the shield is still better for us because it has the leadership and more balance attributes. We lose a little bit of physical armor, but we get a massive amount of magical armor. Oh, for you, this might be the other way around. The stats are wrong, but her physical armor is terrible. So definitely could use that for her, depending on the situation naturally. Asabil is overburned. I think we basically see some other map from this. It's to the south of us, uses the same larger map. But this place does not have an access point to it. Also, the rat might be pleased that we released her mistress. Well, what's done is done. But we knew this already. Kemm is one of the main agents of the enemy.
500 escapees? We would have noticed.
Is there a way to get a key to the lower levels from here? It seemed like the path was blocked, not that it's unlocked or anything. So you would have to do something specific to unlock it, or unblock it.
All glory to Lucian. All prayers to him. Please, Lucian, end my suffering. I would never. My whole.
Right. Not quite sure how we're supposed to get access. Let's try to report this issue to
Tell
her.
Lord Kemm that we won't let this lie. 560. That. Where are all the prisoners?
Maybe it's too early to get to the lower levels. Right, but the paladin leader is an enemy. Dangerous, dangerous enemy. One way or another, we'll have to solve this issue. We need proof. Also, where the hell is the rat?
Those magisters are craftier than I thought.
Animals seem to have quite a bit of wanderlust, so it could be anywhere.
Stuck sitting here while Kemm goes.
Didn't get much experience out of that. Again, I don't want to talk to any of these people. I don't want to get sidetracked too badly.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the dead.
Dubious flyer. To the lucky claimant, if you are holding this letter, you have already proven yourself a capable student of spycraft. Now it's time to take the next step. You can find me in arcs along the docks behind the toy seller's house. Keep your head low, picture a vase. What is that? Picture of us. Don't care. Game is our immediate problem.
Look at the size of that thing.
That's what she said. What exactly am I looking at though? Reckoning. We have access to the house. A lot of people there. Actually, not so many. Ooh, this is a massive place.
Come out, wherever you are. I saw Daddy with some weird-looking cat in the garden. I think he was even talking to it. He called it Archu, I think. Anyway, I asked if I could pet it, but Daddy shooed me away.
What has Daddy been doing?
For heaven's sake, would you please... Oh, ever so sorry. I thought you were that rotten butler about to warn me once again to take the ocular, not the tactile approach. I swear I've a mind to beat him to death with the nearest dictionary I can find. None to be found, and I'm not going to go digging in the dirt for any.
You say that now, but when Lady Kane turns you into next Tuesday, you'll regret
Ask her why he's telling her to look but not touch.
Because that little snob thinks me unworthy of being in his precious lord's mansion, appraising his precious lord's collection of antiques. Just you try judging the state of a Vadistian armoire if you're not even allowed to rummage through its drawers.
Say that you met Lord Kemm. He strikes you as more of an old warhorse than an antiquarian.
Oh, he's all blood and battle, all right. Until you show him a Ferolian snuff box or an ancient imperial fainting couch, then he's as giddy as a cat in a field of catnip. He knows very well I'm the best in the business. Asked me to value his collection personally.
Ask her what she's doing here exactly.
I'm merely appraising the many antiques gathered in here in this beautiful mansion.
A roguish little smile suddenly plays upon her lips.
What else would I be doing?
Say that she could simply share her intentions with you, or you could tell the butler she's damaged one of the antiques.
My, you do drive a hard bargain, don't you? Very well. Consider yourself invited. Now listen closely. Rumour has it that Lord Kemm's mansion is built upon a massive vault in which he hides his true valuables. His entire house is but a smokescreen for the real treasure hidden underneath. I've had no luck so far in locating this fabled vault, but if you do, I swear the entire hoard is yours. No questions asked. All I want in return for this information is a trio of curios that is said to be kept inside. The portrait of the divine, the cup of kings, and the scroll of eternity. Everything else is yours.
Why would I give those to her? Especially the portrait of the divine is not something I would like to give up. Because that's the copy was somewhere else, but that's the original painted in blood, source infused blood. That is That is gonna be a trouble. I mean, valuable or not, she's gonna be, well, here's a deal. No, let's break the deal. I wouldn't like to actually make a deal necessarily, but my only option is laughing in her face and saying all of it's mine, and I don't want to do that. So even though this deal making is more along our lines, even if we don't intend to honor it.
A most satisfactory arrangement.
About the curios.
Did you find them?
Nothing for now.
I suppose pay.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Why, hello again.
Do you have anything that's for sale?
Highly interesting. And highly valuable. Perhaps even quite out. Anything else?
Highly valuable, like a fork and a chipped plate. Rutoma rivelis. It is unique. It has the ability to equalize. I've never seen that before. Seems like it's maybe a polymorph ability. Maybe I have seen it but thought it was too poor to actually be of any use. It is a high level amulet, has a rune slot, +5 strength, so +2 polymorph, holy shit. +5 strength would be good for our fighter friend. Oh yes.
Can't blame her for drinking so much.
And
Not with Master Kemm being the way he's been.
we could add a strength rune with power. Okay, so it would be +8 strength. That is good. More importantly, it's an upgraded magical shield for him. He's in desperate need of something like that. We could also use some polymorph abilities. I'm not sure if those would be all that useful, but their existence might be a convenience here and there.
Come out, wherever you are.
I don't think Losea has much for trade. She simply doesn't have the carry weight. I think I'll just pay her in cash. We could steal it right back now that I think about it. But you have a reason not to. What is she gonna do? Not deal with us?
Come out, wherever you are.
I need to stop the child from running about.
Come out, wherever you are.
He used to be patrolling basically.
I saw Daddy with some weird-looking cat. None to be found, and I'm not digging in the dirt for any.
You say that now, but when Lady K glares you into next Tuesday, you'll regret keeping your hands clean. Have you managed to rummage up any turnips?
I'm working here. Leave me be.
I shall. I have to disappear for a few seconds. Properly go somewhere else, I mean.
He loves children so.
Bail on the house for a second. Okay. We want to to add anything to it that adds strength, I think there are more options than one. The accuracy is somewhat useful. I think that's finesse.
I know quality when I see it, and I bet you do too. Care to
Not sure I actually want to get rid of that. Millstone.
My friend here has taste. Care to trade, friend?
Rutoma Rebellis. About 30 points of extra damage. That's without the rune stone. We could add to our magical armor too. So if we put in a good masterwork runestone here, it would be very useful. Equalize. Vitality and armor percentages of characters in a target area are summed up and redistributed. So we can use some kind of a character who has massive armoring to protect the others. And it could be very useful, I suppose, maybe, possibly, or not. Right. We need to create the rune we want. Accuracy wouldn't be bad, but I really have no use for the finesse. None at all. And power is everything. Medium masterwork rune. Don't have more masterwork runes, do I? No. I'll have to make some. What is needed? It's the livewood log that's the biggest problem. Even if I made 2 small ones, I couldn't really... I might be able to get 1 large one at most. Point is, it's not worth it at the moment. We can probably do some shopping to buy extra runes, so I don't really want to make them at the moment. We can add a lesser rune to it. It still provides +2 strength. I'm actually surprised that a medium one gives the +2. That's not that hard to do. Fire would also give it critical hit chance, but we have 0, so it just doesn't make sense. We'll get some extra maximum magic armor and strength, so it's all good. Yeah. About 25 points, more or less. Damage increased quite a bit more.
I know quality when I see it, and I bet you do too. Care to trade?
From 23 from gear, strength. 255% increase in damage from strength. Critical hits will be about 1500 points of damage on normal strikes. 400 points with this, maybe 460 if they're not 450 if they're not protected against earth damage. Times 5. No, it's 900 per hit times 5, so 4,500. Respectable numbers, and this is with a level 17 weapon, which is outdated, soon by 2 levels, so it will be massively more soon. Maybe they've stopped hunting for the unknown thief at this point. I have my doubts about our ability to wrap things up here quickly. Kemm's Gardens. There's a child here.
Shh, she'll find me.
He's been running next to you for a long time. Of course she'll find you.
Do pass the tea.
You're looking well,
What
my
better
lady.
way to spend Lucian's day than drinking tea with friends?
Yes, Mum.
3 people.
Yes, I must agree.
Come out, wherever you are.
Well, Mum, we were hoping you'd see fit to reopen the school. I must take advantage of the moment. We are only granted an audience by invitation.
The Webbs are here by invitation.
I don't believe you're here at my behest, are you, darling? Do feel free to rest your feet elsewhere in the manor before being on your way. Ta-ta.
-1 AP cost. Green tea leaves. Mon maximum action point. White tea. Highly priced drink with earthly calming properties. For two turns are all action point costs lowered by 1. That's a massive thing. 1 extra maximum action point wouldn't be that big of a deal, because you would have to sacrifice action points from a previous turn. But action point cost reduction is a big thing. Haven't really paid attention to these. Yeah, it's tea herbs. These are tea leaves, green tea leaves. Fairly expensive too. Take the money. I don't care. Anything interesting? Linder Kemm's chamber
Well,
key.
isn't this convivial?
Impressive painting.
A striking painting, truly, and featuring a familiar face.
Lady Kemm sniffs with the pride of a peacock spreading its tail.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Possibly Ram's finest work. You may recognize the people in it. Alexander, of course, the dwarven queen Justinia, Gongi of the ancient empire, and the graceful Tiriara, the great elven seer. The Quorum. It was here that they made history, in this very room, in fact.
The Quorum. What was that all about?
Lady Kemm smiles graciously and offers you a cup of tea.
Cup of green tea. I'd like to see what it does. Is it different from the green tea leaves themselves? Where is it placed? -2 action point cost. Duration 3 turns. Nothing can bring an action point cost to a 0, I know that. But even this would be like... there's an ability in the polymorph lineup that reduces, at least based on the inscription, I haven't actually tested, it uses up all your source points, and in exchange you can use source abilities without having any source points cost to them. So basically, if this actually works, that it reduces AP costs by 2, usual cost for the super spells is like 3 source points and 4 action points. This will, using the special ability in addition to maybe Elven ability to get an extra action point, plus maybe adrenaline to get 2 extra on top of that, one could go to using the item itself to drink it. Then you would have 6 left. Reduce action point cost by 2, and you could probably cast at least 2 super spells. Maybe 3 if you're somehow clever. That's a game-ending, rather battle-ending combination of things. I don't think I care it too much now. I'm more or less thinking about the solo playthrough. You have to have ways to burst damage.
The Voidwoken invasion was in its infancy, and it was becoming clear that the creatures were drawn to source. Bishop Alexander called the quorum together. He demanded the elves, dwarves, and lizards agree to his plan. Gather and quarantine source users across Rivellon.
She takes a slow sip of tea, eyeing you closely just above the cup's rim.
Wonder what happened next.
An excellent question. As it happens, the other 3 rebuffed Alexander's demands. The Lizard King, stately when silent, yet so great was his descent I was sure his shouts would split the ground open beneath us. A travesty. Alexander sought to protect us all from a scourge. The fork-tongued devil would sooner usher in a dark age than round up the troublemakers.
I'm sort of trying to go along with the flow with the Lady Paulina here. Actually... Where is the key? Key. On the table, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty hard to just interact with for some reason. But this might be the only chance we have to actually get it.
Lucky find.
Run, you fool! Right. Didn't go our way. Suddenly telekinesis apparently is somewhat suspicious. I don't mind that, it makes perfect logical sense for the people to react that way. We could use Chameleon to do it. Not sure if we even need it.
Shall Lord Kemm be joining us, my lady?
Linder, I fear, is far too busy with his little coup. Perhaps he may find some time for us later. I don't believe you're here at my behest, are you, darling? Do feel free to rest your feet elsewhere in the manor before being on your way. Ta-ta.
We could probably get +2 maximum action points with the other team. I want to buy one. I'm not particularly interested in this right now, but I'm interested in knowing that it actually works like that.
A striking painting, truly, and featuring a familiar face.
Lady Kemm sniffed.
You may recognize the quorum.
Lady Kemm.
The Voidwoken in Bishop Alexander.
She takes a slow sip.
An excellent. The Lizard King. A travesty. Alexander sought to protect us all from a scourge. The fork-tongued devil would sooner usher in a dark age than round up the troublemakers.
But I don't want to criticize Lady Paulina's leanings here. Shake your head. Kangi was wrong to resist.
Lady Kemm grins, then pours you yet another cup of tea.
Then there was the Queen. Smart as a whip, that one, and just as likely to sting you.
Invite her to carry on in spite of her remarks.
Justinia listened to Alexander intently. I'd always thought of dwarves as pragmatic. I presumed she would ally with him, but she proved disloyal. The dwarves would not be part of his plan. I had forgotten that pragmatism is usually partnered with stubbornness, particularly when accompanied by an overabundance of ale.
Yeah, the jester option is to basically make fun of her and her opinions, but it's not gonna get us where we want. So agree, every dwarf you've known loves a good drink and a good argument.
Another smile, and another cup poured.
Attention turned to Tiriara. Perhaps she would bolster Alexander's position.
Ask what happened next.
The Elvenseer. Her heart bled, she said. A millennium of memories warned against a pogrom, she said. She would not assist the great Alexander. No great loss, I must add. The elves are scattered to the wind. Their influence is as thin as a dying willow's twig. Besides, like any elf, Tiriara's head floats in the clouds. They tell wonderful stories, but live fantasies as absurd as any lizard dreamers.
Tell her there's truth in what she says.
She pours you yet another cup of tea with an elegant flourish. The pot is seemingly bottomless.
Ah, it's been a pleasure to reminisce on that day. Please do make yourself comfortable. You are such delightful company.
She sips from her cup, and you bow in farewell.
Well, isn't this convivial?
You're looking well.
Any other things we can wonder at? Suppose we could try to play something.
Tell me about yourselves.
Well, now, we were hoping you'd see fit to reopen the school.
I'll talk to my husband.
Come out, wherever you are.
Okay, we got a lot of tea out of that one.
What better way to spend Lucian's day
Different
than
types
drinking tea with
in a
friends?
cup. Green tea, white tea, black tea, fire resistance, 3 turn durations, a lot of action point manipulation. They should be easy to test though. I mean, look at the Bloodstorm ability. 3 source points, 4 action points.
Find some time for us later. But let's not hold our breaths, shall we? Morty,
Come out, wherever you are.
what better way to spend Lucian's day than drinking tea with friends?
Your children seem well adjusted.
Impossible to see outside a fight though, because there is no action point cost. So, -2 action point cost in what exactly? Well, we can test that once we get into a fight. Does drinking have a designated action point cost? Some things don't have action point cost unless you're in a fight. Reading probably doesnis an action point cost, for example. But if you read during a fight, it might. Healing does have a action point cost here, that's interesting. Milk, apple juice, all have costs. Tea does not. Food has. Doesn't mean it doesn't have a cost, it just means it's not intended really to be used here. Can I just brew some tea? Or does it require something special? It might require an empty cup. Yeah, cups of tea. I don't even know what's in it. No, teacup shouldn't be all that interesting. We're not looking to make tea cup or cups of tea. We're looking to make very specific types of tea. I might have cups, on the other hand I might not. There's an empty mug. I'm pretty sure I had mugs at some point, or cups rather, and I just dumped them because I didn't have any use for them. This would be the only time I have a use for them.
Come out, wherever you are.
Basement. Linder Kemm's garden.
Oh dear, I wasn't expecting visitors.
Can't blame her for drinking so much tea. Not they don't need this distraction. Why don't you go stroll in the garden or something?
Yeah, the game wants me to go to the garden. The lumberjack magicians, seriously? I'm curious to see what that is.
No carrots, no time.
Worthless,
no
that's what it
I'm
is.
fresh out.
Start.
Doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd hide a vault.
Yeah, that's why it might be a good place. Also, it's unlikely because this would be where servants are, so it would be very hard to come here and use the vault unnoticed. Doesn't mean that there's not something here.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
More mirrors. Spinning wheels. Tons and tons of spinning wheels for some reason. I'm not picking up the paintings because they usually weigh quite a bit and aren't that valuable, and I don't particularly need the money at the moment. Blessed ice grenade. I mean, in theory there might be something interesting, but I'm having a hard time imagining what it would be. It's the wrong type of a place.
Have you managed to rummage up any toonies?
I think I'll look at the upstairs and leave things at that. It's not gonna be here either, but might be able to get some sort of an idea. Crystal. Don't recall ever seeing crystal. I suppose it could look like a diamond. No, it's right. There's nothing special about it. I've seen those before. Runes, medium, small, more crystal. Decorative, this and that. Library. Fuck. He noticed the theft. And the crystal is worthless to me anyway. I have no recipes that I know of that would use a crystal, and I haven't sold any of those items in a long time. I'm not sure if I've sold them at any point. I don't need the money. So we'll explore the library, talk to the people there. Doesn't look like I can really touch anything, or rather, if I take something, I need to get out of the level entirely and not stay here. Otherwise, someone's gonna come and talk with me about the issue. And the main problem is, even if they don't catch me with this particular theft, I have a lot of stolen artifacts, so they're gonna catch me with something. Doggy.
I bit the Master Kemm, I did. I could have sworn it was another man in a master suit, but it weren't. Now I'm in the doghouse like the humans say.
Scritch his ears and speak calmly. You're sure he meant no harm?
I couldn't help it. I swear, it came all smelled like when the garden man cuts down a decayed tree, like he was using flowers to hide the rots. Only nudging and tail wag the next time, I promise. No licking though. I don't want to taste the rot again.
Yeah. Not exactly a uncertain thing at this point. Replica of an ancient empire wheel. But I think we have a key to this place, so we can enter it. We'll have to be a little bit careful when we do. That's a child's room.
Tragedy befell us at the consulate, but at least Lord Kemm offered us pleasantries and protection. He's one of the few truly honorable souls left in this city.
Yes, sure.
The Lizard Consulate is gone. All that survives of it is what I managed to take with me. Care to see what I have? Perhaps we can make an arrangement.
Wonder what his fellows... No. Ask about the consulate. What happened?
It was quite terrible and wonderful. Slaughter. Death. Opportunity. We were gathered there in anticipation of Lucian's Day, when suddenly the ground shook, monsters howled for blood, and fires raged around us. Many a great name perished in that sudden hell. As for myself, I'm glad I survived long enough to collect what treasures I could. Surely you might find something useful among them?
Not that he seems rather indifferent to the events at the consulate.
Oh, it was devastating, to be sure. But what good does mourning do for either the living or the dead? I found a spot of fortune in the flames. It would be wrong to squander it, yes?
Yeah, I don't want
Best
to
sell anything of
lecture
value.
him about
The voice of the ancient
theft of the
empire
items.
must still be heard
I
in
don't
arcs,
care.
and that will require gold.
Summon Fire Slug Scroll. This is one of the few good scrolls I've seen. It's also cheap as hell. Yes. Fiery Inferno, Intelligence, Memory, Pyrokinetic. Not bad, except we have the same thing in wand form, more or less. Silent Path, Finesse, Strength, Finesse, Perseverance, Initiative. Set silent, set clear-minded. As you don this helm, the world is blanketed in silence. You feel your mind is clear as your senses awaken, sharper than any blade. This wouldn't be good for anyone, really. But there might be a build that could use it, or a situation where it would be useful. Maybe strength potion. Medium strength potion wouldn't be all that interesting, but maybe we could get more, combine them into better ones. Because again, that's a massive amount of damage you can get by using up a single action point. So if I haste the Red Prince, that's more or less it. That's the point needed to get the large damage boost. I'm more or less interested in, not really think it's necessary, more or less interested in would it work. It's an okay ring. I don't think we're gonna really take this. The skills are just spread all over the place, otherwise it's a fine item. Last one standing. Finesse +5, memory +5, skincraft, so anyone could get cooldown removal. This is gonna be great for someone. Not Sabine though. We might be able to steal that. At the same time, we can buy it, so not. Right, we have a usually a good capability of bombarding things, except when we cannot. Also, the current belt provides life and initiative, that's it, so it's more or less worthless to us. So extra 5 memory slots and some finesse, which is irrelevant, would be very, very useful. The armor is also appreciated. But with this we couldn't use our super attack abilities. So maybe it's better for someone else. Skin graft isn't exactly free. He has a super attack ability, but he uses it far less frequently. On the other hand, we could get a much wider variety of super attacks if we would have +5 memory. And the skin graft would be useful in situations where we are not using our super attacks. We'd lose some leadership by taking this, but gain some armor, maybe a little bit of initiative, it's not that big of a deal. You have a better belt. Sort of. Right, definitely another super spell. I want 2 of the big ones to be available. Bloodstorm is nice, we want physical. Another we want to just pummel the shit out of them. We could take some of the lesser ones too at this point. We have 2 summon fire slugs as scrolls, so there's no point taking this as a spell. What else? Some of the rarer abilities maybe. Bloodsucker. Bloodsucker and Raining Blood. It's an okay heal combination. Yeah, I'm not so sure. None of these are particularly impressive. Could take a shitty water attack. But that's terrible. I don't particularly want it. I suppose bone cage, emergency physical armor. Yeah, I just looking at my spells, I don't care about any of this shit. Maybe remove one of the sort of unnecessary ones, replace it with another super spell, so we have a lot of variety which to choose from. At the same time, there are no horrible spells left anymore. These are all okay and useful. I think I'll take the blood. I mean, usually we might not use them, but emergency heal when everything else is on cooldown and we don't have other abilities to rely on. So there's potential there. Should be one more we haven't talked to. Lady Vikra.
My word, the Red Prince. A moment of your time, please, Your Majesty, if you can spare it.
What say you? Have we time to spare?
Yeah, yes.
Very well. By all means, milady. Speak.
It's about Sadha, my prince. I met her in our Empire's consulate here in the city. She is pregnant with your offspring, but in mortal danger as well. Voidwoken swarmed the consulate, flames engulfed all, but even then the Dreamers stood by her and tried to take her into the Sanctuary of Dreams. Go to her, Your Majesty. Find her and safeguard her, for her sake, and that of your children.
Well, at least something useful came out of this. Craftsman's Tome. But we can't really interact with anything here, so I don't think we even want to try. It would be a huge pain in the ass to get it to work without someone getting annoyed. Better to let it go. And okay, there are two guards here, right? No, there's a dog and the guard. I'll leave things here. I think we should basically ambush the guard somewhere outside so we can steal things, escape, and then leave properly from this area. Otherwise, it's gonna be trouble. So things will get complicated. Red Prince has to do the stealing because he's the only one with the carry weight. And Sabil and Lose will provide anything extra we need. We're more or less looking for just... No, Sabil, you need to distract the dog. Right.